What's up, everybody? Today we're gonna go over this thing right here. This is the Fzone Aqua stainless steel canister filter. This in particular is a 10-liter version. They also have a 4.5, a 15, and also a 22-liter version. We'll do a quick unboxing. We're gonna go over the stuff that you need for this canister to work. Then we'll do a installation video for this. We'll go over the specs, then we'll install it onto the tank. We'll do a flow test, and then we'll go into my pros and cons, and then my final thoughts. And I'll let you guys know if this is a cop or drop. This design is inspired by the ADA Superjet. Those are the stainless steel ADA branded canister filters that are super expensive. This is at a fraction of the price. Now, all of this is made of 304 grade stainless steel. I'm not sure what the ADA is made of. They don't mention anywhere. Here you have a cap. This is the inlet, this is the outlet that goes on top. Comes with a rubber O-ring. It also comes with a bunch of these rings right here. And it comes with this little piece. And then you have these two plates for you to hold the media down. You're probably wondering, where are the media baskets? Well, this don't come with it, but it's part of all the additional stuff that you will need to get in order to get this up and running. Let's take a look at the insides. Here's the Fzone logo. The bottom. Now, after you purchase the stainless steel canister filter, you will have to purchase a water pump. At this point, you're probably wondering, why the hell are they making you purchase all these things separately? They did mention that a few customers had the inclination to use their own water pumps, and they just want to purchase the stainless steel canister filter by itself. This is the Fzone water pump DC800. This pumps 800 gallons per hour. Manual. This is the pump itself, pretty hefty. You could use this inside of the tank or outside of the tank. We have a power adapter. We need those O-rings. And this part right here is what actually makes it feel like it's worth it. This controller does two things. One is it controls the flow rate for the water pump, and the other neat feature is the feed button. So what that does is, when you're ready to feed your fishes or do something in a tank, when you press the feed button, it stops the filter for 10 minutes, I believe. Then it will resume it. A controller is definitely nice. The other thing that you need to purchase with this is the base plate. It comes with 3M tape for you to attach and screw hose. You need a 16 by 22 millimeter hose, and then you need to get quick connects, because this does not come with shutoff valves. This is the UNS quick connects. Obviously, you could also use the Eheim double tap as well. So I have two sets, one for the inlet, one for the outlet. Now, the other thing you need is media, not just media, but also media bags, because this thing does not come with any type of media baskets. What it does come with is a steel plate. They basically just sandwich the media in between. Not that big of an issue, because media baskets are fairly cheap, and I got these. I mean, you can also use pantyhose. I just feel like getting a little fancy, you know? So I got these mesh bags with the zipper, so I'll probably fill each of these with plenty of media. They come in a pack of a lot. They come with large bags, smaller bags. I think this is like 15 bucks, hella cheap. The way I like to set up a media is using sponges as well. I believe this is 20 PPI and this is a 30 PPI. They're obviously square, so I would need to do some cutting. Oh man, there's like little bits and pieces everywhere. This actually comes with two types of fitting that you could attach to this. I'm gonna use is the 16 by 22, or they have the bigger fitting, way bigger than the 16 by 22. I'll show you the difference. But we're gonna use the smaller. Now, before I take off the 3M side, what I'm gonna do is rubbing alcohol pads, give the surface a good clean. You'll see a whole bunch of holes. These holes are meant to attach this pump. See how that matches? And with that, you will have to use these little tiny screws. The base of the pump is removable. Match your hose, get to screwing. Should've used a power drill. Attach this back on, and boom. Make sure you take the O-ring and put it on all the fittings. So now you got something like this. One on the front, one on the top. Then you take these two little parts, this, put it through here, take that, screw it on. Do the same thing for the top. You got two extra screws, just put them back in the little dime bag. Now we take the rubber hosing that was supplied and we put it on. Now we're gonna take this and stick it through. And it looks something like this. Now let's remove the 3M tape. Drop it like it's hot. The first layer we're gonna put is this with the legs. And then we're gonna put our sponges in. First gonna go with the 20, then we'll go with the 30. Now we're ready for the media. Where's my media bag? Usually what I like to use is Secam Matrix, but all I have is ceramic rings and some Eheim medias. The reason I went with these is so I don't have to have one gigantic bag in there. I'll have multiple bags. For me, it's easier to pull things out, put it back in when I'm doing my maintenance. All right, in goes the first bag. Let's do our second bag. I left a little bit of room, and that is because I want to get the fine filter floss in there. Boom, and the final plate to compress everything together. We could still put a little bit more media in there, so let's do that. You know what they say, more media, more better. And now we're good. Kind of dusty over here, let me clean it up. Take the O-ring, plop it on top, just like that. And then finally, this thing goes on top. What they do is use these clamps and just clamp everything down. How about some low budget product shots? Let's go. We're gonna have to install some hoses. So for these hoses, I like to use quick connect. So let's install these on the hoses. As you can see right here, I've already cut exactly where I want the quick connects to come in at. This part right here is not the funnest part. As you can see where everything else is kind of like tapered, right? Even the tops of the pump is tapered, so it's much easier to stick a hose through. Now for the bottom portion, that is not tapered. It is a pain in the ass. I'm gonna have to heat this up before I apply this. Oh, just FYI, some of you wondering what these are. Well, check it out. You lock it in and you tie this down. You also have to use it at the 2 points where the pump is going in and out. Before you connect directly to power, you need to connect the canister filter with the controller, then the controller goes into the power. It's all pretty much dummy proof. I just want to go over some quick specs, and I'm going to use the Oaze Biomaster 350 as a reference point. Now for the Oaze Biomaster 350, the gallons per hour is rated at 300 manufacturer rating. For the Fzone Aqua, the pump itself is rated at 800 gallons per hour. Again, manufacturer rating, the real rating is probably cut in half. We'll get to that when we get to the flow test. Of course, when you talk about pump power, the Oaze Biomaster 350 uses about 16 watts, and the Fzone stainless steel, the 10L with the DC 800 pump uses 34 watts. Let's say if I use 600 gallons per hour, I'll probably cut that wattage to like, 3/4. Now for the Oaze Biomaster 350, it's a pretty beefy canister filter. It only carries 5.6 liters. For the stainless steel, that carries 10 liters. As you can see, is nearly double, but it kind of makes sense because for the Oaze Biomaster, there's so many other things that are incorporated in it, right? You have the pre-filters, you have the heating compartments, and you have the multitude of trays that's taking up space. With the Fzone stainless steel canister filter, is literally a empty canister and you just plop things in. But the funny thing is, the Oaze Biomaster is rated for up to 90 gallon tanks, and this one, the 10L, is rated for up to 70 gallon tanks. It's kind of like the Eheim where you have to prime it. Oh, it's working. It's working. Check it out. You can see the fine mist that's coming out. It's clearing up all of the air pockets that's in the canister filter. The UNS Quick Connects is complete trash. This part started leaking right here, and now I have a huge mess. Alright, so I fixed the problem, which is basically getting new quick connects. I got the cheapest and the fastest delivery just so I could complete this video. This time, we legit are finally ready to power this on and see what this thing can do. Now let's plug the power into the switch. Alright, that actually took a while to get the air out. What you do is just rock it back and forth. If that's not enough, what I did was I turned it on and I turn it off, turn it on and turn it off. What you could do is just press the feed button. That turns it off, and hit the feed button again and it turns it back on, and that kind of helped. And this is how much sound comes out of the unit. With the doors closed, you probably can't hear anything. So right here I have an 8-quart bucket. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give a 2-quart head start and calculate after that. 4 quarts equals 1 gallon. The results are lackluster to say the least, but I've learned a lot and hopefully you guys find this very interesting. I did a flow test with it full of media and I got a whopping 156 gallons per hour. Then I took all the media out and I ran it completely empty and I got a total of 200 gallons per hour. Oh, and by the way, I also ran the SS canister filter at 50% power on empty and I got about 180 gallons per hour. Is this something wrong with the pump or something wrong with the canister filter? Then I thought about the previous test I've done. All of the canister filter, the Fluval, the Oways, and even the Fzone stainless steel with the 800 gallons per hour pump got about mid 150s. But with the canister filters empty, you get a slightly bigger difference. The Fzone stainless steel, you get 200. The Oways biomass of 350, you get 164. I'm not sure if the singing in the background is being recorded and it is. That's actually my girlfriend just Something has to be choking the flow. What is the one constant thing that I have used for all of my tests? I've been using 16 by 22 millimeter hose and glass slurry pipe sets. And in my opinion, that is the one thing that's choking the flow. No matter how powerful your pump is, if you're using a specific hose size, you're only able to achieve this amount. If you're using a bigger hose and bigger inlet and outlet, you'll probably exceed that. For instance, right? If you look at the FX4 or the FX6, I believe the FX4 is rated at 450 gallons and the FX6 is about like mid 550 gallons per hour. The thing is, the FX4, the internal diameter of the hose is about 19 millimeters and the FX6 is 25 millimeters. So that is way more room for the water to be sucked in and pass through. The only way to get the elephant through the doorway a lot faster is to have a bigger doorway. So if you're planning to use a 16 by 22 or something smaller, your flow will be choking like Ben Simmons in the playoffs. The more you know, right guys? And also, by the way, the Fzone pumps, they come with 2 types of nozzles. Right now I'm using the 16 millimeter nozzle. They have the bigger size nozzle, which is 19 millimeters. For me, I'm not willing to trade aesthetics for a higher flow, so I'll probably just be running a Waymaker in the tank whenever I do need it. Now the cons for me is no pre-filter, no auto priming, no baskets, no media. Price is kind of up there if you're on the budget level, and also the power consumption at 100% is 34 watts. But I think the pros outweighs the cons, even with the disappointing gallons per hour. So I would like to address the fact that it doesn't have any media or any baskets. A lot of times when you buy a canister filter, when it comes with media, outside of Eheim, you really don't use the media that it comes with. You're replacing it with your own personal media anyways. And instead of the baskets, you just simply buy these cheap mesh bags that will basically be your baskets. And in terms of the price, for those that are budget conscious, you know, the range of price I believe is around like $250 all the way to like $400 or something like that. The thing is, the pump comes with a 3-year warranty and the stainless steel canister filter come with a lifetime warranty from Fzone. I feel like this canister filter has very specific use with its extremely high media capacity. The thing I bought is 10 liters and the Oasis Biomaster 600 or the 850 holds 6.8 liters. So at 10 liters, that is quite a lot of space for you to put a whole bunch of stuff in there. Now I'm actually thinking about doing a goldfish tanks, so the amount of media space really help. Not to mention, the pump comes with various options. When I spoke about being at 100%, it's consuming 34 watts
of power. I'll probably use it at like 60 to 70%. So that power consumption comes way down. Also, the other option, which is a big deal for me, is that feed button. The reason I love that is because sometimes when I'm feeding my fish, I turn off my canister filter, I put the food in the tank, I go about my business, I completely forget that I even turned off the canister filter, and I come back in an hour and all the beneficial bacteria is basically dying. For people like me that are forgetful, it's super helpful and useful. Oh, did I mention? It also looks good. Aesthetically pleasing. I might just run my cabinets with the doors off. So if you were to ask me if this is a cop or drop for the purpose that I'm planning to use this for, is definitely a cop. And you guys should check out the YouTuber Dr. Novak talking about this particular stainless steel canister filter. I'll actually link his videos in the descriptions below. Thank you for watching, and thank you for watching to the end. Peace!